You are Locked On Warriors POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports San Francisco on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, man. It's a Warriors loss. Welcome into Warriors POSTCAST. I'm Matt Kolsky filling in for Eric Engel. You may know me from my work at 95.7 and KNBR or on the other Locked On Warriors station. And boy, that one just tears your heart out, doesn't it? I wish I had something to make you feel better. I really do. I don't know what to say after that except, man, they were right there. They did all the things they needed to do at so many points tonight and just didn't have enough. I mean, a variety of things went wrong in the fourth quarter, but boy, for 3.5 quarters, I really thought they were putting together the effort they needed. I really thought they were going to be able to finish this thing off. Butler was doing what you needed him to do again for 2.5 quarters. Kuminga doing what you needed him to do for 2.5 quarters. Draymond's defense, really good at so many points tonight. Man, it hurts. It hurts to lose like that without Steph Curry.
This is what you'll be talking about.
So what are we talking about tonight? We're talking about a game where the Warriors showed up on mission. They knew what they had to do. They knew the sort of effort that they would need to get a win tonight. You know you don't have Steph. You know you're coming home. And, you know, not the smoothest first 2 minutes, but really once Jonathan Kuminga came in the game, they looked, I mean, look, they were 0 for 5 from 3 in the first half. Not what you want. But the upside of that is 40 field goal attempts, only 5 threes. That's 35 inside the three-point line. Everybody was attacking the rim and largely having success. Obviously, Butler and Kuminga, the top two in that department, but Jimmy was doing all the stuff you expected for a big Jimmy game. He was getting to the line. He was hitting some of those little, not even mid-range, sort of short-range jumpers. It felt right. And there's Kuminga attacking that cut that he had, I want to say mid-third quarter, where he sort of came around the lane and Butler found him for the big one-hand dunk. There were so many good moments tonight. And for 3.5 quarters, this was the right formula. This was it. Beat him up. I mean, look, Jimmy, it was hard work out there. That it's hard work when he scores like this. He's taking his time. He's bullying his way close enough to the rim. He's finishing tough, contested shots. He's getting to the line. You know, ends up with 9 free throw attempts on the night. I think almost all of those. I don't think much of any of Jimmy's production came in the last 8 minutes, which that's kind of the story of tonight, right? You had 3.5 quarters of the sort of game you needed to beat a tough Timberwolves team, and then Jimmy ran out of gas, Draymond fouled out, and all of a sudden Anthony Edwards is lighting you up, and that is no fun. And I hate to do it, but I think I gotta.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
We were just a few minutes from Jimmy Butler being the player of the game. 33 points, 7 boards, 7 assists for Butler. A heck of a game. Again, it's not like when Steph goes for 30 plus where it can happen in a flash. Everything's going great. You feel like you're rolling. Life is good. It seems easy when Steph goes for 30 plus sometimes. When Jimmy goes for 30 plus, it's a grind. And he grinded it out for 3.5 quarters, but player of the game tonight has got to be Anthony Edwards, because as mediocre as he has been throughout the series, and look, Do not misunderstand me. Anthony Edwards is one of, if not the brightest young stars in the entire league. I'm not trying to take shots at Anthony Edwards, but up until really the fourth quarter tonight, it has not been a good series for him. You know, midway through this game, you've got the announcing team talking about, hey, maybe his ankle's still bothering him. The jumper doesn't look right. Fourth quarter for Anthony Edwards, he played the whole 12, 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. The one non-3 was that vicious dunk, and he almost had another dunk, which instead he ended up going 2 for 2 from the free throw line because he got fouled on that attempt. He was +9, 13 points in that fourth quarter, and that was the difference in the game. Again, did all the right things for so much of this game, but when it came down to the biggest moments, I mean, the reality of this Warriors team without Steph Curry is even if you do all the right things for 3.5 quarters, if you don't quite do them for the last half a quarter, you're not going to have created enough distance between you and the Timberwolves. You're just not. I don't want to say that the final tonight, Warriors end up with 97. I don't want to say that's their max without Steph. I think they could get to 100 in the right circumstances. But if we're looking at how do you win game 4 on Monday, that is going to start with can you hold Minnesota under 100? Again, not saying it's impossible to win 110-105, but defense, as we saw tonight, the Warriors it was not a bad offensive performance. Shot over 40% from 3 by the end of the night. Shot it well in the second half as a team. You know, turned it over, unfortunately, a few times, but all told, you can live with 15 turnovers, especially if you're forcing 21 from the Wolves. Just at the end of the day, the Warriors need to play an almost perfect game without Steph Curry if they want to beat this Wolves team. And this was 3.5 quarters of near perfect and 6 to 8 minutes of struggle bus. And that's enough right now, especially if Anthony Edwards gets hot in that fourth quarter. That's enough for the Wolves to get the job done. Huge bummer. We're going to talk a little more about this game, including that turning point. Oof, there were a couple in the fourth that just... It's tough. It's a tough loss. We continue on right after a quick commercial break. All right. Tonight, on a Saturday night, we are brought to you by Fire TV. Did you know your Amazon Fire TV is also an Xbox? You can turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. You don't need a console. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe or sign into the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you are ready to play. Hundreds of premium titles at your fingertips, from EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, and Avowed. As easily as you stream your favorite shows, it's gaming made simple, and it is all on your Fire TV. I love the Fire TV Stick because not only do you have the gaming element, but you have the absolute best Wi-Fi, which, yeah, that's going to make sure low latency on your games. That's going to make sure responsive to your controller in the right time frame. It's not like playing on, someone's bad Wi-Fi. And it's going to mean no weird, bad resolution in the middle of watching your shows on Netflix or Prime or Disney Plus, Max, wherever you're watching shows. By the way, Hacks on Max right now. I know that rhymes. Max has Hacks and The Last of Us going. Would recommend. And you can stream it in 4K on your Fire TV Stick. Plus, very affordable. High-quality Xbox games at a fraction of the cost of a console. And if you are a big gamer, man, this can be a game changer for you. If you're not a gamer at all, it's still the best value you can get in streaming at 4K. So head to Amazon.com/FireTV locked on right now to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd generation. Head to Amazon.com let's try that again. Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started right now. And tonight's show is also brought to you by my personal favorite sponsor, DoorDash. I, of course, am a committed DoorPass subscriber. You should be too, especially if you're an NBA fan, because you know what time it is. Playoff season, big performances, even bigger rewards from DoorDash. They're bringing the heat with a slam dunk deal for DashPass members during the 2025 NBA playoffs. It's called They Swoosh, You Score. Anytime a player drops 50 or more points in a playoff game, DashPass members score a free 3-piece crispy tenders combo from Wingstop. Nice. Nothing like wings in sports, folks. They just go together. The very next day after that 50-piece, you get a 3-piece crispy tenders from Wingstop. Just place an order of $20 or more. Use the code Wingstop50 at checkout, and that combo is yours. Crispy, delicious, and totally free. Offer is valid noon to midnight the day after the game. Terms do apply. You ever look at your delivery fees and think to yourself, why? Why am I paying $13 for delivery fees? The whole point of the app is for delivery. Why do I have to pay that? With DashPass, $0 delivery fees. I can confirm as a DashPass subscriber. It's great. $0 delivery fees, plus you get the exclusive perks like the They Swoosh You Score combo. How much would you save over the course of a season with those kind of deals? A lot. So here's the play. Sign up for DashPass to unlock this and more exclusive deals all season long. Any player goes for 50 plus in a playoff game, and DashPass members can grab a free 3-piece crispy tenders combo from Wingstop the next day with a $20 order and the code Wingstop50. That's DashPass, your door to more savings, more flavor, and more ways to win. Terms do apply. Get DashPass. And don't pay delivery fees. It's the Amazon Prime of delivery. You got to love it. All right, so a tough loss for the Warriors. To recap, 102-97. Really looked like they were going to get this thing done, even midway through the fourth quarter. And turning points. There were two for me. Obviously, or maybe I should say unfortunately, Draymond Green is involved in both of them, and neither of them went the right way.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So, pick your favorite infuriating Draymond Green scenario. And I hate to do it because anyone who's listened to me before knows I love Draymond. But this was not good. It was a really good defensive game for him for much of the game. Really good defensive game. And by the way, I see you guys in the comments. I will get to you in a matter of moments. But turning point number one. 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And Jimmy Butler gets a rebound, gives it to Draymond Green, offensive foul, turnover, his fifth foul. But what you might not remember is just before that, when the Warriors were winning 82-79, and Draymond Green had an opportunity to convert a layup to put them up 84-79. And instead, what happened is that he got blocked by Jaden McDaniels, and the result was Anthony Edwards getting a bucket the other way. Right after that, there's a timeout. Gary Payton misses a three. Anthony Edwards hit a three. And that was sort of the moment that it turned from Jimmy Butler's game to Anthony Edwards' game, and everything started to go wrong from there. The other one and this is pretty obvious. It's a tough call, okay? That last foul on Draymond Green is a tough call. But we've all seen it before. The right play in that scenario, when you are Draymond Green and you have 5 fouls, and there are 4 minutes and 38 seconds left in a critical playoff game that is hanging in the balance. At that point, you are down 3. And there is a drive by Jaden McDaniels, who is clearly going to dunk the ball, and you foul him. You got to let him dunk the ball. We've all seen guys do that. We've all seen the play, 5 fouls, and for a second when you're watching, you're like, oh no, why did he just let that guy dunk? And then you go, oh yeah, he has 5 fouls. It's not worth the risk. And Draymond risked it. And look, I bet he's kicking himself for that, although I bet he also thinks it was a terrible call. I'm not going to tell you it was a great call, but the right play is to not give them the opportunity to make the call. And the way you do that is by just getting out of the way. He arrived on the scene too late. He was not going to stop the dunk, certainly not without fouling. You got to let that one go. It's hard. It's his job. But you got to let that one go. Discretion needs to be the better part of valor, as one might say. Anybody who wants to weigh in the comments, please feel free. DG, they should have won that game. I hear you, man. They did let it get away. They should have won. It's hard for me to say that given the circumstances. It's a tough spot. No matter how well things are going, it's a tough spot. They are overmatched, but they definitely let it get away. They let it get away with just they almost had to be perfect, and there were some imperfect plays down the stretch. This is the one to me that we got to talk about a little bit before I have to go here. Pods is an offensive liability, says Nurse Paul. It's hard to watch. The difference was Pods. Nurse Paul is calling him Clank now. That is a rude thing to call him. I would not call him Clank, but he has been clanking. So it's not unfair. It's rude, maybe a little mean, not unfair. Brandon Pajemski did some good things on the floor tonight, but he looks like he looked at the beginning of the season. The shot is no good. He was 1 for 10 from the field. Yes, he had 8 boards, couple assists, played good defense, took a couple charges. He did Pods things. But right now, they need him to score. And frankly, look, Buddy Hield came alive. I got to say, it's been a nice stretch of double-digit scoring games from Buddy Hield. Not going to get down on him after a night like tonight. But 33 for Jimmy, 30 for Kuminga. That's 63 points between 2 guys. The rest of the team had 34 combined. 14 of that's Buddy. So other than those 3, the rest of the team had 20 points combined. We know Draymond is not going to score much, although you'd like it to be more than 2. We know Gary Payton is not going to score much. Moses Moody has played himself out of the rotation. The candidates to score are Buddy and Brandon. You got to assume, look, you're not competing if Kuminga and Butler don't score. But when they do, like they did tonight, those 2 guys, for large parts of this game, got the job done. And maybe if Pajemski has even an average game, it's a night where when Draymond fouls out, you're up 8 instead of 3. And that could have been the difference. As much as they end up losing by 5, this game was hanging in the balance all night, and they did so many of the right things. I am going to take it as encouragement. I am going to take it as, hey, little better game from Buddy, little better game from Pods. You can win like this on Monday. And I still believe in the championship DNA of this team. Draymond has got to find a way not to foul out and to impact the game on offense a little more. And I really believe, as heartbreaking as tonight was, I believe it's going to be a dub on Monday. So let's all cross our fingers. And let's hope that similar effort from Butler and Kuminga with a little more help and a little more solid play down the stretch gets you a win on Monday. Thank you to everyone who logged in and watched tonight. And thank you to those of you listening on the podcast as well. Eric will be back on Monday. It's been my pleasure to fill in for a couple of days. Sleep well, Warrior fans, and let's go get that dub on Monday. Later.